All right, hey everyone, what is up? We are back, and I know the World Cup finals just ended, but here we've got a much more exciting match. We've got a cold open cup round of 32 match that round is dwindling down. One more match left after this, and just ready to go. My name is Dynascape, and I am joined in the commentary booth by Sparky. Sparky, how are we doing?
Doing absolutely fantastic. As you were alluding to, the World Cup final has just ended. I myself am currently recovering from that. Gotta get it together for the penultimate match of this weekend. It is going to be a bit of a double header. We do have on screen Phantasma going against Tanakze, but we also have Nepka Hunter going against Hanafuda no Ronin. In a simultaneous match, so we'll try and keep you guys up to date with the results of that match as we get them. But for right now, it looks like we're gonna get into the warm-ups for this match. Of course, Tanakze being staffed by Kronkse, Just Alex, and Tarusoki. And then we have Phantasma on the other side, Ainsel, Tristan 1128, and Archie 68805. Good luck to all the players. Let's see how they do in this match.
And it's quite interesting to look at their qualifier results and see kind of how they got their seedings. Tanakze is seed 11 and mainly got through that by really strong arming the Rice maps in the qualifiers 7th and 4th respectively, but not only that, a decent accuracy score with 12th place on the hybrid map. Phantasma getting 22nd, also by strong arming the Rice, but not as much, 12th and 13th respectively. And seems like Phantasma also has a trick up their sleeve in early game LN, getting a 13th place on LN1. So I could expect to see them picking LN maps, especially when Einsel is on their team.
Yeah, I can definitely see that coming out. It'll be interesting to see once we get into the actual match proceedings, but for right now, it looks like we're gonna get into this first warm-up. Something maybe 5 or 6 steps ahead of what they're going to be playing in this round of 32 map pool, but definitely a good way to get the fingers going overall.
Yeah, honestly, if I had to play Klassiker Einheit as a warm-up, I'd probably go through like the first course and then stop afterwards, because I'd be like, I don't, I just really don't want to do it right now. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, for sure. I would just not even attempt it.
But I mean, it is why Tanakze got such a good score, or a good seeding, so I'm guessing just Alex and Kronkse are just warming up the fingers, getting ready to pick some of the more physical maps, something like Rice 5, Hybrid 1, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is definitely ranging on one of those let's just do something to get the nerves out type of warm-ups. This is definitely maybe a bit above the heads of what these players can comfortably play.
Yeah, I was gonna be really scared if these guys could actually play Klassiker Einheit 1.1.
I think we would have just banned anybody that got like a 99 on this, because
I just failed.
yeah, no, this
Yeah, I
is...
saw Kronkse getting a 99 in the opening part. I'm like, just like in the back of my mind. But like, they didn't even hit the first course, and then, yeah.
So I think everybody just failed out there. And yeah, that's that's the first warm-up. That's why you put no fail on sometimes.
Alright, yeah. So, thank you to the people that failed out for kind of expediting the process for us.
Yeah.
I guess. Hope your hands are warm enough. Gonna get into the second warm-up. I'm gonna believe this is Phantasma's warm-up.
Yeah, something a little... Is it? Am I reading that right? 1.6 rate, guys. What are you doing? This is... I mean, sure, the warm-up is for trying to get the fingers warm, but like, don't oh, it might be a bit of a blunder. It might be actually one of the lower rates. You know how it is whenever you send the MP or the actual map link sometimes it defaults to the very last rate.
You know,
So-
gotta love the 1.6 rated maps though. I really love when mappers put in the 1.5 as well.
Yeah, I know we know some people that love doing some goofy rates, like 1.26, 1.31, just really oddball rates.
Yeah, I can definitely say that I'm guilty of doing that a couple times, especially when I'm trying to hit certain like jump stream or hand stream thresholds in terms of BPM. So I totally get it for some, you know, some circumstances. Most of them I don't, you know, especially if there's something like an SV map. Kind of just hurts my brain.
Yeah, not for the faint of heart, but it looks like, I mean, for the warm up, you can do whatever you want, just stay under the 4 minutes and don't put anything offensive. So I think that checks all the boxes, and we'll be getting into the second warm up.
And this one's short and sweet. Kind of like how the last one went, I guess. It wasn't a short map, but it went shortly. Only a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's not often you see a team fail in 2v2s. I think the last time I saw it was like a year and a half ago in a very particular tournament I think we're both intimately acquainted with.
Oh yeah, that would have to be GS4T2. I think the one you're talking about is the fail on cockroach party, right?
Yeah, the cockroach party incident. But that was a time for then. We can reminisce later about it as we go through the back half of this chart. Notably in the same ballpark of just hand and jump stream, but definitely a lot lighter than Classic Orion height.
And I think that Einsel is not a hidden player, so maybe masking their score a little bit. They seem comfortable with this map, however, again, from what I know, they do not play hidden pretty much at all, especially when they are pushing score or, you know, top plays.
Yeah, I think this is basically just having a little bit of fun with it. Definitely still a map that is maybe 2 or 3 jumps ahead of what is expected in this map pool, and as the map comes to an end, that will do it for the warm-ups. We'll be getting into the roles and, of course, the protects and bans.
Again, as always, role winner gets the first map pick regardless, as well as the choice of either banning first or protecting first. So, you know, roles pretty important here for how things play out, especially in the best of 7 setting. You really do want to get your first pick in and get that first strike. Tanakze striking with a 51.
Ainsel responding with that 79, so Phantasma gonna be winning the roles here. An opportunity to decide if they want to protect first or second. Regardless, they're gonna be picking the first map in this match regardless, though. See what they have here in store. And it looks like they will be protecting, so let's see what they decide to protect here. And it's gonna be LN1, unsurprising here, probably. Or definitely way more suited for the LN picks. So probably gonna ban out one of the Rice picks if at all possible. So Tanakze gonna be up to protect next. Wonder if one of the Rice picks is gonna get protected.
Yeah, I mean, let's see here. Rice 2 immediately going to be protected by Tanakze. Nice pick for them as well. Again, LN1 makes sense on the side of Phantasma. Rice 2, definitely a bit more physical, and especially with those flams, you could really get the weak link of the other team if possible. They're going to go ahead and ban LN2. Makes sense. We've seen a lot of troubles on this map. I think LN2 has been probably one of the most represented maps in this pool, which is really interesting. Just a lot of either picks, bans, or protects on this map.
Yeah, I feel like it's just accessible enough to the teams that may not be as LN proficient, while still proving to be not. It's definitely a non-trivial map. Like, it definitely does have those moments that can catch you off guard if you're not fully expecting it. And of course, Phantasma gonna be knocking out Valscotch here. The techiest map in this pool. Definitely one of the more physically demanding charts as well. Don't want to get into a bit of a battle on that. But with that being said, it is gonna be Phantasma's first pick to get things underway here.
Yeah, Rise 5 is such a good band. We've seen so many lower end scores on that map. I think Phantasma, yeah, just gonna go ahead straight away with LN1. They still do have LN3 as a pocket pick for later on. However, yeah, LN1 is a very nice choice by them. We're gonna have to see how Tanakze holds up in early game LN accuracy, though with their hybrid placement and them getting a pretty top score on that, I shouldn't I shouldn't really shoo away any notions of a breakpoint.
Yeah, for sure. So first pick is out here. Gonna see if there are any substitutions. Doesn't look like it. We're gonna get right on into this first map of this best of 7. First team to 4 points will be punching their ticket to the round of 16. I believe this is a winner's bracket match or a loser's bracket match?
This is a winner's bracket match. The team that wins this does go on to fight Zhang family in the next round. The kind of the Titan Slayers that took down Fumo Gaming short while ago, I think 12 hours ago on stream.
Yeah, so a pretty interesting matchup for the round of 16. Not a lot on the line, just your winner's bracket run. You still have the loser's bracket to try and make the run, so get things underway here. Really early accuracy drop from Archie here, dropping down into that 98% range. Ainsel as well, picking up a couple of late releases here, down into that 97% range as well, instantly handling Tanakze. Very early advantage, might have just been maybe a first note jitter causing them to hit very late on that first couple of notes.
Yeah, just a bit too much damage really early on.
Ooh.
Wow, and a traded miss by just Alex. That's gonna help stifle the bleeding for Phantasma and help them get back on the right track.
Yeah, so it's 2 FCs to the 1, but this accuracy discrepancy between the two teams really keeping Tanakze ahead at the moment as Ainsel tries to get back up into that 99% range, but hovering in that low 98s, not really helping their cause for the moment. Last start of the map still to go. RC doing the bulk of the heavy lifting right now, winning their battle over just Alex, holding on to the FC and that accuracy advantage, but Kronkse really making the difference here for Tanakze, keeping them ahead for the moment as just Alex starts to make their way back up over that 400 combo cap here.
Yeah, I feel like Ainsel just takes a bit too many random 200s to really help supply that score push, especially when just Alex had dropped in the mid part of the map, so it's like a really important place to drop as well. Kronkse did their best to fend off both attackers from the Phantasma side. Finishes with a pretty clean 987, only 3 greats from them.
Yeah, pretty good runs overall. And as the dust settles, Tanakze going to be picking up the first breakpoint in this match and making it 1-0 now. Alex, thinking that they missed. They did miss. It was a slider break.
Yeah.
It counted as a 50 instead of a miss. So
it's like, thought it was the wind, or it must have been the wind. But in reality, it was a miss. Just how things are counted in score V2. Any slider breaks, like super early releases on an LN will just count as a 50 on your screen, but it is a whole combo break.
Yeah, it didn't do too much in terms of the score overall. So point secured for Tanakze, an opportunity to double up, take advantage of that breakpoint here. Be interested to see where they go. They did protect Whispers from a different distant star. Be interesting to see if they go straight into it, but no, it's going to be Termination of Desires here. Slowing the pace down a little bit, not wanting to dive into the more physical Rice picks overall. Something a little bit more coordination based. Maybe they can try and out ratio here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. Definitely one to kind of trick you up, and especially on the chord jacks, or I guess not really chord jacks, but the consecutive chords that come along in 2 and 3 formats, or 3 and 2. Kind of might be hard to coordinate those as well. I wouldn't really call it a physical pick. However, it is very much one that you do need to be practiced on.
Yeah, it's very easy to find yourself dropping 200s like we see there from the side of Phantasma. Both players picking up a couple 200s out of this introduction. You'd imagine the accuracy is going to start to even out as we get deeper into this map. The percentages are going to fluctuate wildly as we get into the main bulk of the chart. But for right now, Tanakze going to have a tiny bit of an accuracy advantage for the moment off the back of Kronxe. Still holding on to this 99.9. See if they can hold on once things start to pick up here.
Yeah, Einzel just struggling with that early game accuracy, it seems. Can't really seem to hold it down and really just power through and act the patterns. RC lagging a bit behind both members on the Tanakze team, just Alex and Kronxe with very strong showings at a 99.8. However, it is going to pick up just a little bit, and it might get a bit closer.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, RC trying to do everything that they can to try and keep this lead in check from Tanakze. 99.6 for them, but right now with both players from Tanakze, just Alex and Kronxe, still healthily above that 99.7 mark going into the last third of the map. It does pick up a little bit here, but it would take a couple of breaks from them to hand this lead back over to Phantasma.
Yeah, even with RC climbing up in that accuracy and Kronxe and just Alex dropping just a little bit, it's really not enough because of Einzel's 98, low 98 at that. Just dropping a lot of 200s everywhere. Kind of a very spread UR bar. So it seems like Tanakze is going to take this one quite decisively. And double things up, get to 2-0 on their pick.
Yeah, I feel like it might just be a bit of an offset issue for Einzel. You see the UR bar kind of centered, but just a little bit to the right here, so might have just been a misconfiguration on their offset going into this map. But with that being said, Tanakze going to be able to double up here, make it 2-0 now.
Oh, it seems like it might be possibly something like an internet issue as well. I know they did say that they were playing on a hotspot, didn't have the
Ooh.
Wi-Fi for some reason online, so that is really, really unfortunate to see. I wonder if they can't switch things out, maybe Einzel for Tristan, and kind of help supply their third.
Yeah, I mean, either you tank it through or you get that substitution. That's why you have that third player. But with that being said, it is their next pick, a chance to try and right the ship a little bit. Maybe go for something like Okaidi to try and really show what they're made of here. we have been hyping up to be a bit of a LN-oriented team.
Yeah, that is pretty good. They are gonna go for hybrid 2, so not opting to go for the easier side of LN kind of thing. They're gonna go with Dashi and hope. I think what they're hoping for is that Tanakze aren't really ready with this pick, and kind of drop a lot of accuracy or possibly drop combo on those one-hand LN drills.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some very awkward choke points in this map, especially in the choruses. But it looks like the players are ready, waiting for everybody to ready up here.
I think another possible pick they could have went for is also hybrid 1 with Faraway. It would have been pretty interesting because I know that both players on the Phantasma side of things are very adept at maps like that, and it remains to be seen whether or not just Alex and Kronkse are. So it could have been kind of like really playing with fire there, especially on your potential last pick to try to choose that. But starting off this map, it's kind of the same story, just Alex and Kronkse. Very good accuracies. Alex did drop a 200, booting them down below RC's accuracy. However, Einsel is still sitting at a 98.4. Just Alex gonna find their second break of the match, but that bar is still staying red for now.
Yeah, but this is a lower overall accuracy that they have. They are climbing back up now, 99.3. And it was very early on in the map, so maybe able to mitigate some of the overall damage, especially off the back of Kronkse holding on to this 99.86 before the first chorus. Things are going to start to pick up here, see how they can handle it here.
Yeah, again, this is probably the main meat of the map. A lot of tricky LN structures to try to get you and drop your AC. As we see with Alex, they did drop a couple of 200s in that section. Einsel has found themselves climbing back up to a 99, so things are getting a little bit more competitive now as RC is racing over to Kronkse's AC.
Yeah, if Ainsel can really close up that gap to just Alex, that miss really starts to get taken advantage of here, especially with the fact that RC is doing everything in their power to try and stay in lockstep with Kronkse. Did find a bit of damage there, fell from their perch of 99.8 down into the 99.7 range. And as we get back into a bit of a calmer LN section, but we have seen players drop in very calm sections, maybe losing their concentration for just a moment. And that's really where the slip up starts to happen and things start to get really interesting. As we get into the last chorus, the LN starts to get a lot trickier to manage, everybody holding on as best as they can. Just Alex coming up to meet against RC here. Kronkse pulling away for the moment, as well as the lead for Tanakze overall. As they start to take advantage here. Still 4 FCs left on, or 3 FCs left on the board. Just Alex missing at the very start of the map, and a very late miss. Not gonna matter here as Tanakze take their third point and make it a match point situation.
Yeah, just a great score by Kronkse. Sets a V1 SS, almost a 991. Really helped nullify any damage made by Alex's misses and really secures them that point.
Yeah, for sure. So an opportunity for Tanakze to put a nice little bow on proceedings here. Basically pick of the litter at the moment, winning on Ellen, winning on the hybrid, winning on the Rice. Seems that they are more comfortable overall, even with the potential technical issues on the side of Phantasma. And it's going to be Rice 2 coming out to protect, to try and close things out. Whispers from a distant star are going to be the map for Tanakze to try and end this.
And this is a very dire situation for Phantasma. You know, obviously being down 0-3, they are going to have to kind of fight their way through this map. But not only that, if things don't work out here, Rice 1 and I believe Rice 4 are still active as well for them.
Alrighty, so it looks like the MP Star Command coming out here. Potential last map of this match coming through. It is the Protect from Tanakze, so you'd imagine they're very comfortable on a pick like this, but depending on if you can handle that BPM change when the real map begins to start, I'm interested to see who can hold on for longer.
Yeah, and so as per usual, kind of a rough start. Just settling around that 98 area, trying to climb their way back up in the very slow section here. Kronksay with an immaculate 99.9, just Alex not far behind.
Yeah, this introductory section kind of just a bit of an appetizer for the second, third, and onward of the map. That being said, we have seen players slip up on this introduction, which is very surprising considering how light it is, but maybe you're just anticipating what is to come and get a little antsy as we dive into the main speed portion of the map. Everybody doing very well, holding on to their combos. At the moment, Ainsel finding the first drop just as I say that. Second third of the map upcoming. A bit of a break before diving right back on into it. As it stands, Tanakze firmly in the lead. 99.87, 99.86. A valiant team performance from them. Answering back, Phantasma trying their best to try and keep things under control. 99.3 for RC. And that miss from Ainsel really doing some damage here as they fall down into that 97% range.
Yeah, that miss is really gonna hurt, especially when it's on Ainsel's side of the screen. RC at a really low 99 as well. Both players from Tanakze are crushing it right now and absolutely powering over these patterns.
Yeah, a bit of a break now as players take stock of the situation, what has just occurred. Bit of a recovery run for Phantasma, trying to capitalize on any potential mistakes from Tanakze, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as we make our way into the last eighth of the map. Ainsel finding another drop here, and that might be the window of opportunity closing for Phantasma to try and notch a point on the board. It is a clear runaway for Tanakze at the moment off the back of these two incredible performances from just Alex and Kronksay to put that nice little bow on what has been a very consistent performance from them, able to take on all aspects of the map pool and come out on top, clearing it 4-0.
Yeah, what a crushing performance from both of these players. Just very, very good on every single map. You know, a couple of hiccups here and there from Alex. However, Kronksay has been a rock and has FC'd every single map given to them so far, and with great accuracy as well. And that's gonna help Tanakze take it over Phantasma 4-0. RC and Einsel tried their best, but to no avail. Unfortunately, they will be seen in the losers bracket next weekend.
Yeah, hopefully they can sort out any technical issues for next weekend, see if they can find their third teammate as well. But with that being said, we bring up the bracket here, and we are almost done with the weekend. Phantasma will be going up against Smirkcat off the back of that win by default, seeing them through into the round of 16. Meanwhile, as you were saying at the top of the broadcast, winner of this match was going to go against Zangai Family, a team not to be trifled with. Definitely do not sleep on them here. But with that being said, we did have another match ongoing. I believe that one ended. Actually, it is currently in the warm-ups, so might have just started off a little bit late here. We'll see if we can bring you guys that action here.
Yeah, and also at the top of the next hour, we're gonna have the last match of this round. It's gonna be Makiba Cat Enjoyers versus Fresh Chicken Nuggets. So also stick around for that as we try to give you this other match.
Yeah, bear with us for the moment. We can introduce the upcoming teams. As we were saying, it is going to be Nepka Hunters going against Hanafuda, no Ronin. And it looks like Nepka Hunters going to be staffed by Zeit345, Roly Poly, and Warring Zero. And then Hanafuda, no Ronin going to be what is that? Guaudi Go Guao, Hikamon 24, and Moni Wo.
Oh boy, and what is this warm up? I am digging it.
Yeah, it's had some feeling behind it.
Some real emotion.
Ah, okay, so it looks like this lobby that we're getting into had to be remade because of a 30-minute timeout. Maybe just waiting for the players to get in, so...
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out how Nepka Hunters found themselves in this situation because they are one of the better teams in this tournament. They are seed 14, going against seed 46, Hanafuda no Ronin, and they actually got here by being beat out by Ukti boys. Kind of a
Understandable one.
yeah, and a very understandable one. I don't blame you if you had lost them in the early game rounds. They have some absolute demons over there.
Yeah. But I mean, with that being said, Ukti Boys actually losing this weekend, being... I don't want to say it was an upset because of their seeding, but just given their proficiency on early game maps, just got beaten out by just overall more consistent team as we wait for everything to get set up in the background here, waiting for our streamer to be added to the actual lobby.
Alright, and Wearing Zero will win out that role. So, who's that? Nepka Hunters are going to get that option of first protect or first ban. They are going to opt for the first protect as well as first pick, and they are going to go for LN2. You know, as we said in the last match, one map that was very, very well represented throughout this whole weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So, continuing with the trends here as we wait to see what the protect for Hanafuda no Ronin is going to be.
It's actually pretty interesting to see Nepka Hunters opt for a early game early game LN pick to be protected, because looking at the qualifier results, Nepka Hunters had gotten 32nd on LN1, whereas Hanafuda no Ronin's best skill set was LN1 at a close 37th. So this could be a lot closer than they expected to be, because I would say that these LNs are maybe around that qualifier level. I would have thought they just would have opted for physical rice, honestly.
Yeah, but it looks like the ban for Hanafuda no Ronin is going to be Rice 5 here. So getting rid of Bounce Scotch, not wanting to get into the more physical picks, and we wait for Nepka Hunters to provide their ban before we get into the match proceedings here.
Yeah, and with Rice 5 being banned, it's kind of what I expected out of Hanafuda no Ronin. Nepka Hunters are actually going to ban Hybrid 2. Just something maybe they're not too comfortable at, which is also a bit surprising because their second best placement in the qualifiers was actually that's my mistake. Their worst placement besides LN1 was the hybrid qualifiers, so kind of makes sense that they are striking a hybrid here. Maybe a bit of trouble in those transitions.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like the first pick is going to go to Nepka Hunters, an opportunity to pick something they're comfortable with here. Be interested to see what they want to start off with, given the fact that 2 LN maps were protected. Very rare that we see a double LN protect, but I'm all for it. Love seeing the noodles getting played on this tournament.
Oh yeah, Rice 2 coming out immediately. So that is something to test Hanafuda no Ronin in, especially in their consistency when it comes to these single streams. We've seen a lot of people kind of lose themselves in the single streams and drop accuracy so far this weekend, so let's hope it's not the same for any of these 4 players here.
Yeah, and as our referee gets everybody in their proper slots, it is going to be Warring Zero and Roly Poly for Nepka Hunters going up against Guaudi Go Guao and Moni Wo for Hanafuda no Ronin to contest on this pick. Waiting for everybody to get ready.
And I would have to say that Rice picks, are usually very important, because if you can win on the first Rice pick of the match, you do have the, I would say, bigger pool to work with, just as there are more Rice picks than LN picks, and also we try to keep the hybrid picks kind of balanced so that there's, maybe a Rice leaning or maybe a 50-50 balanced hybrid pick in the pool for them. So again, as always, this is quite a big one because it kind of tells you how the rest of the match will turn out.
Yep, and the MP start command does come out. All 4 players are ready. As was said in the previous match, this is still a best of 7, first team to 4 points. We'll be moving on. In the losers bracket, we will be saying goodbye to one of these 2 teams before this match is over.
Just waiting for Bancho to get things in order. Taking quite a while. Hopefully that's not someone disconnecting or something like that as the map comes into play.
Yeah, just trying to keep everybody in sync for now. And thankfully, all the playfields did load in. I'd be more worried if one wasn't loaded up right now.
No? Not sure if that's an abort or if that is
I think
just
that's
us
just
resetting.
yeah, I think it's just us resetting. So we'll be getting into this relatively shortly. We might be popping in at about the halfway point of this map. But to be fair, this introduction is incredibly calm. So don't expect anybody to find any sort of drops.
Yeah, it's essentially like a third of the map, and you get like 120 notes or something like that. So yeah, it's not too much. I mean, you might get an early lead out of it, but it won't be sizable unless there's a combo break or something.
Yeah, for sure. As we pick up everybody, waiting for Guao Guao to get in here. And we see a bit of a cross-map battle occurring. Roly-Poly and Guao Guao going at it. Warring Zero and Moni Wo matching each other's accuracies through this introduction. And right now it's a little bit too close to call. It remains to be seen once things start to pick up who can really eke out the advantage here.
Yeah, Guau beating out Roly-Poly just by a little bit, but Wearing Zero beating out Moni by just a little bit.
Ooh.
Except Moni takes a drop into transition into the streams, so that's gonna hurt things for Hanafuda no Ronin as they find themselves on the back foot in this first little section here.
Yeah, we dive back in to these single node streams, a couple of jumps to try and keep you on your toes. But for right now, it is Moniwo riding that struggle bus a little bit here, going into the back half of the map, dropping their accuracy down is at 97% range, despite the fact that Guau, their teammate, holding on to the highest accuracy in the lobby, 99.8 for them, as Moniwo finds another break. And right now, this lead is spiraling out of control in favor of Nepka Hunters, Ro32 and Roly-Poly, able to basically lock it down, solidify their accuracies, basically hovering in that 99.67 range, and really extending this lead now as we take a bit of a break now.
Yeah, just as you said, riding the struggle bus and taking one too many stops along the way. Guau has such an amazing accuracy at 99.82 so far, one of the highest we've seen this weekend. But Wearing Zero and Roly-Poly hold very strongly, even if it is below that threshold set by Guau. Moni, unfortunately, just finding themselves at a 96%, almost gonna S, possibly an A rank on this map, and Guau actually falls as well, down to 99.67, will not get the FC and will not take the point. It is Nepka Hunter with first blood.
Yeah, very balanced team performance there from Nepka Hunters. The good thing for Hanafuda no Ronin, that was Nepka Hunters' first pick. Maybe not something that they would have wanted to opt into willingly, so I can definitely brush that one off. There's still plenty of match to right the ship here. So we'll see what their first pick is going to be. I imagine they're going to dive down into that lower half of the map pool immediately.
Yeah, just start off with something simple like LN3 so that you can pick LN2 as your protect later on. Remains to be seen though, but I can't imagine them picking any of the Rice picks.
Yeah, at least not willingly, and especially with a majority of the bottom half of the pool open, definitely might give them a bit of pause before diving up into the Rice picks, but remains to be seen. We have definitely laid out expectations, and it looks like they will be following them for once. The rare time that we're actually right about players' picks is going to be LN1 Saika coming out here for Hanafuda no Ronin.
Yep, it's just kind of something that they are, better at than the rest of their skill sets. Early game, LN seems to be the play here for Guau and Moniwo, and especially when Guau is flexing that accuracy for such a long time, I think it would really help Hanafuda no Ronin to try to take this point against Nepka Hunters. I'm not sure how Nepka Hunters do on LN, especially when their lowest placement was the LN1 qualifier. However, Wearing Zero is going to be switched out by Zeit345. Interesting choice. Usually a lot of the teams just kind of have two people that are really good and then just have them in for the whole match. But we are going to see some tactical switches here.
Yeah, definitely. If you know you have somebody in reserve that can come in to kind of back up somebody that's more well-rounded, definitely want to try and employ that, especially when we get deeper into the tournament. Definitely going to need to use all three players if at all possible to try and get you through some of these matches. So it is going to be Zeit345 Roly-Poly for Nepka Hunters going against Guau and Moniwo for Hanafuda no Ronin. An opportunity to try and keep things level. Opportunity for Nepka Hunters to take a first breakpoint in this match.
And I really like what you said about trying to utilize all three players, and I think that is something that needs to be common for these top teams if they want to really go far and duke it out, and anything past quarterfinals. Sight finding a couple of early 200s, but that's also traded by Moni, so we're gonna see kind of that cross map battle again. Guau and Roly-Poly are duking it out above that 99.7 range. Sight finds themselves at finally above a 99, and Moni's trying to get back to a 98.
Yeah, it's really just coordinating some of these little rice jumps in between the LNs, you start to focus more on the rice and you start cutting off some of those LN releases inadvertently. And I think that's really what's doing the damage to Moneywo's score at the moment, despite the fact that all 4 players are still holding on to their FCs going into the back half of the map. And as I say that, I feel like that has been a recurring theme this weekend. As I say that all 4 players are holding on, somebody finds the drop, and it is unfortunately going to be Moneywo, and the lead is going to extend for Nepka Hunters for the moment.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I've been watching Moni, and it just seems like they're the reason why they drop so many bad judgments is the unwillingness to let go of the column. They are finding a massive amount of late releases in this map. Zayt actually finds themselves into a 99.5 range after that first little struggle. Roly-poly still behind Gorigo Guao. Such an amazing performance by them. However, it's not going to be enough again, as Nepka Hunters are poised to take the second point against Hanafuda no Ronin and double things up with a pick at that coming up.
A double-digit perfect performance from Gorigo Guao. Not going to be enough here as Nepka Hunters take advantage of a more balanced team score overall and make it 2-0.
Yeah, and as it is their pick, they do have a lot of things that I could see them just immediately going for. Stuff like Rice 1, where it's like their last pick, in Rice 2. Though Rice 3 and 4 aren't terrible picks either. They both have their own kind of uniqueness in difficulty. Wicked Cross is something to really slip up opponents that aren't too physical, especially as you get into those ending phrases on the broken jump stream. Termination of Desires kind of tests that like Jack ability as well as single streams.
Yeah, and got a bit of a heart-and-mouth moment watching the lobby chat, seeing one of the players for Nepka Hunters come in, not able to change their team color. Kind of made me nervous that the lobby had broken, but thankfully not going to be the case here, as it looks like it's going to be Termination of Desires. Rice 3 coming out, bit of a accuracy test, bit of a consistency test overall coming out for Nepka Hunters to try and secure a match point very early on in this match.
Yeah, and I was actually kind of laughing at that thing where they couldn't change colors as well, because in the lobbies that I've reffed this weekend, it just seems like players aren't aware that they can switch the colors with the color next to their name in the lobby. Which, I mean, it's very understandable. Now, when I first started doing tournaments, I didn't know that either, but you know, it's kind of like a right in front of your face so you can't see it kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think most of these players are probably used to like free-for-all lobbies, host rotation. You don't have to worry about team colors or anything, so trying to keep that coordinated can definitely prove to be a bit of an issue sometimes, but thankfully players are catching on as we dive deeper and deeper into this tournament. And for right now, it's actually going to be Hanafuda no Ronin holding on to a bit of an accuracy advantage very early on. Roly-poly finding probably a rush of 300s to start this map off, but they are quickly climbing as we make our way through Gorigo Guao. 99.9 for them, able to hold off Warring 0. 99.8 for them, hot on their tails, but the battle between Moneywo and Roly-poly is going to be the interesting one to watch at the bottom half of this lobby here as we dive into the first drop of this map.
Yeah, and as the patterns get more complex, some of the faster sections, remains to be seen whether or not Roly-poly or Moneywo will drop accuracy. Both of them are kind of in step with each other right now. Roly-poly just a little bit under Moneywo's accuracy. Gorigo Guao and Warring 0 doing their best to hold on. Warring 0 just a little bit behind Gorigo Guao.
God, this is way too close to call. This is maybe 900 points separating these two teams at the moment. It's a 10th here, a 10th there. Warring and Moniwo trading 200s here, but I think the fact that Moniwo was the one that found the 200s really shoving the lead in favor of Nepka Hunters as we transition into this bit of a broken jump stream section. Warring finding a 200 in the transition as well. But right now, the average accuracy for Nepka Hunters once again overpowering that of Hanafuda no Ronin, as Moniwo still tries to hold on as best as they can, dipping down below that 99% mark, and that is helping extend this lead for the moment, going into the last eighth of the map here, despite this incredible performance in quality. Wow, 99.88 for them. But as this map starts to come to an end, it might not prove to be enough here.
Yeah, it was so close until it wasn't. Moniwo took a lot of 200s in what I would consider to be the more peaceful and calm section. Just only jacks to contend with and not hard ones at that. Probably took a couple of double grades on those, stuff like that, to really solidify roly-poly overtaking them in accuracy. And that made the difference. Gorigo Guao with 75 300s. But again, it is not going to be enough.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that so far this weekend. Teams that have incredible accuracy players that can put up these 995 plus performances, just kind of falling short because of singular mistakes here and there, or just not having that support to really push their scores over the top. And you can be out-dueled by a team that has two players with maybe not the highest of scores, but two competitive scores overall. So very interesting to note as we get deeper into the tournament and we start to see maybe the accuracy players fall off and the more physically oriented ones start to take over, if they can start to strike that balance. As we move into LN2, it's going to be Sen and Okotowari coming out here for Hanafuda no Ronin to try and get their first point on the board here.
Yeah, you know, Sparky, I think it's great that you're highlighting that, because it really outlines the importance of this being a team tournament. It really adds many layers of complexity to kind of your game plan going into a match and what you need to do and study for every single fight that you take in this tournament. So yeah. LN2 is going to be really important for Hanafuda no Ronin. Obviously down 0-3, it's going to need to pick up this point if they want to stay alive in Cold Open Cup.
Yeah, good luck to them. Hopefully, now that we dive into the LN picks, they can start to shine a little bit. This one has been tripping up players more often than maybe we were expecting when we put this in the map pool. We were thinking like, oh, okay, this is just the one-star map from Round of 64 Part 2. But this has really been proving to be a very contentious pick. And has led to some very exciting results overall. I think earlier today, we saw a match decided by 13 points on this map.
That is just disgusting. I cannot imagine how it must have felt looking at the scoreboard and comparing between the two teams. Alright, as it stands right now, things are quite close as well. Moniwo and Zait kind of in that same position, as well as Gorigo Guao and Roly-Poly. It seems to be the two all-stars of their respective teams doing well. Moniwo does take first break though.
Yeah, that's what happened during that one match. Early break from the side of the team in the lead, but that back half, that last quarter of the map, we just saw a bunch of 200s coming out from the opposing team, and I wouldn't call this done by any stretch of the imagination. That last coordination part going into the back half of the map is going to be one to watch out for. But for the moment, Nepka Hunters holding on for the moment as Moniwo takes a little bit more damage, drops down into that mid 98% range. ZYT holding on as well, 99.4 for them. and buoyed by Roly-Poly's incredible performance, 99.8, keeping tabs on Ro32, who has been the standout performer so far this match. As we get into the more complex sections here, it is Moniwo taking the damage. I don't think there's enough time for Nepka Hunters to give this lead up as we transition out of it. A couple more jumps here, and it looks like it is going to be Nepka Hunters moving on over Hanafuda no Ronin to the round of 16 by a score of 4-0.
Yeah, just really clean team performance by Nepka Hunters, doing well with 2 FCs as well as a V1SS on Roly-Poly's side. As always, Gorigo Goao with the immaculate accuracy, getting a DDP, the only one in the lobby, as well as a V1SS at almost a 995. But still, it's just not enough for Hanafuda no Ronin to take a point against this team.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to Nepka Hunters moving on to the round of 16 weekend. Unfortunately, this will be the end of the line for Hanafuda no Ronin. We thank them for playing. Hopefully they had fun during their tournament run, but this is going to be the end of the line for them. But with that being said, that was the penultimate match of this weekend. There is only one left before we say goodbye to the round of 32 map pool. It is going to be Makaba Cat Enjoyers going against Fresh Chicken Nuggets in about 4 minutes. I'm not sure we're going to have any substitutions here, but probably keep the stream up for now. Streamer swap. Our wonderful streamer has been taking charge of the last couple of matches. Probably time to give them a break, so we'll probably bring the stream down, come back up with a fresh slate of staff members to bring you guys that last match of the weekend. Stay tuned.